Welcome, you guys, to another episode of the Wiley Show. In this particular broadcast, we're going to be touching on a very sensitive subject, and we're going to be talking about Wendy Williams, the Lifetime documentary titled "Where Is Wendy Williams?" And I watched part one and part two. I mean, part one, two episodes of part one, and part two, I think it's tomorrow. And I'm watching this, and I was watching this, didn't really want to see it because it was going to trigger me, and it did trigger. Clearly, you see Wendy Williams. This documentary is about her, trying to get back on her feet and to do a podcast and to come out and to show the world that I'm Wendy Williams and I'm here. When I watched the first episode, like this first hour of part one, I knew that Wendy Williams is no longer the Wendy Williams that I was a fan of. This is clearly a drunken addict. This is clearly a woman that is addicted to the bottle. This is clearly a woman that have completely lost her mind. And the most painful part about just seeing this, and when they asked her questions and she wanted to show her chest meat and she's breaking down and crying. Clearly you could tell that she's going what I call all of these drunken rants, where they go and they pull on their feelings and they go in all these multiple different conversations. It's just insane to watch. And no one said, hey, how about we cut the camera off and how about we let her have her space? But you are clearly just, when I watch it, I had a conversation with someone. They said, well, we need to see this. Wendy would want her story to be told. But that's when Wendy was in her right mind. Wendy Williams is not in her right mind. That's just like allowing someone that's in a nursing home that got dementia and say, well, mom would want to go out by herself and get our car and drive. Clearly, she's not in her right mind. And when I'm seeing her manager, Will, wear all these expensive jewelry, and he's sitting down with her and saying, hey, we want to do a podcast. She talking to the publicist. We want to do a podcast. Should we tape it? And Wendy Williams is just clearly a disconnect. She hang up, close the iPad, didn't even give the woman enough to say, thank you or whatever, or bye. You clearly see her in her show back during the pandemic that she was a disconnect. She clearly wasn't there. And the whole producers of the show, they kept it going. Clearly, she was not there. And let this be an example to people that say, hey, I want to be in Hollywood. You better hope and pray that you have somebody in your life that is going to be like, baby, no, you can't do it. You can't do this. This is bad. This is sad. This is because it made me cry. I have watched this play out and I cried and cried and cried. And because I witnessed this, and I do send my prayers to her son, because it is so painful to see her son deal with this, and mom drinking and you stand there and you're the enemy. I've been there. I've been there. It's not a secret that my mom, I have shared that she battled with alcoholism. So it hits home, and I be right there. And some of the conversations, she just don't make any sense. She goes on these multiple rants. She say the most mean, nasty things, because people are saying, why is Wendy is being so mean and nasty to her team? It's the liquor. It is the liquor. They're unfiltered. You and their reality. I could just remember my mom would say the most deplorable things, but then when she's having a good day, meaning that she's sober, she's just as sweet. But when she had that liquor, whatever on her mind, she think you fat, you fat. She think you ugly, ugly. She think you a piece of shit, you are a piece of shit. So when she was just being disgusting and evil to her team, I'm not shocked, because her mind is just gone, and you could tell that dementia is there. You could tell that she's going on these rants. One of the things she told her team, the publicist, hey, you need to be on lipo, go downstairs and go eat so you get fatter. It's just like the insult. One of the point that I just wish that Lifetime would just shut it down is when they was going to the smoke shop. She sent the woman in there multiple times. She said, oh, no, no. Take it back. Take it back. Like, she's taking it back. And clearly she was not there, and she was yelling, and you could just tell, like, why is this woman? She have a driver. The driver, take me by the Whitney show, the Sherry show. That's not it. That's not the place. Take me there. Like, yelling, like, you there. And it's just so sad that we really seeing a dementia patient being exploited, being exploited. And the guardian that's in charge of her, I just don't know how they can just allow this. I really don't. But when I talked to one of my lawyer friends, he said, well, the guardian, you have to allow it because they still got to have money coming in. Because if it's no money, I mean, the guardian ain't gonna want to do that job. They're gonna go somewhere else with that. They get paid. I didn't know. I thought the guardian get paid by the taxpayers. No, the guardian get paid by whatever is Wendy account. They hire a staff, and it's paid with Wendy funding. So it is in the guardian's best interest that she make coins. But clearly, she's being exploited. She's going in and out of the sober house. Her manager, Will, is a disgusting man. How is it you become the person that give her jewelry or that she purchased jewelry from? You upgraded from doing that to become a manager. What is your experience of being a manager other than getting a check? You see all of these people in her home. And when she went back to New Jersey and she went there and she went, I get emotional talking about it. When she went back to her hometown to take a picture, clearly she wasn't there. And she was talking to the white guy. She was like, I don't live there. Where do I live? And he was like, well, you should know, like, you live here. Like, it was just like a complete disconnect. Clearly, you could tell that she had dementia. And they just taking pictures. She's crying. She's just not there. And then she's at the restaurant, and clearly you see, okay, I need a drink. I want white wine. I said, clearly she don't need no liquor. So finally her manager said, don't give her no liquor. Clearly you see, if you even go back, even from the liquor, her feet, her health, her 2 feet look like shriveled up Vienna sausages, but a Vienna sausage on steroids. That's how her feet look. The lipedema is really affecting her, plus the liquor. She got a lot of stuff going on with her body. And it's being exploited to the world. Like, oh my gosh, it's just not in a good, healthy space seeing a person that I worship, not a person that I look up to, and that in media, working in media, like Wendy is one of the ones, she was breaking the tea, she was doing this. And to see her in a declining state of mind, being exploited. Now, let's talk about the conservatorship, the guardianship, getting a guardian, right? That's like the highest ever in the court. The New York Supreme Court had get her court-appointed guardian, right? The threshold is very, very high. The reason why she had this, now we have some more details because Kevin Hunter Jr. cousin spilled some tea. So we found out that Wendy Williams had a car, an American Express car, had a car with Wells Fargo, and it was a lot of expenses, right? That was being spent. He spent $120,000 on the birthday party, $100,000 in Uber Eats, $80,000 in rent a month, and that's why the account was frozen. Any good bank would be like, oh my gosh, you spent $120,000 on a birthday party, $100,000 in Uber Eats, $80,000 in rent. This is a mess, and especially the Uber Eats and the birthday. That's like $220,000. And then to her son, this is why I know he's a piece of crap. He was like, well, I didn't do anything without my mom's permission. Your mom's mind is declining. You took advantage of a dementia patient. That is pure financial exploitation. You took advantage of your mother decline. Of course, you're going to say, Mom, can I spend $100,000? Oh, yes, go ahead. Of course. So for you to sit here and act like you're a victim, you're innocent, and the family trying to act like, no, y'all got that account frozen, particularly her son, because he was her healthcare proxy and her power of attorney. And because when he had the power, he exploited her. He spent money that he shouldn't have spent, and that raised the red flag for the white folks to go after and free her accounts. Because when I'm hearing this man talk, Yes, you was good with alcohol, but you just can't control that amount of money. You were part of the problem, whether you want to see it or not. Now, I don't think he agreed with his mother drinking, no. But he also, Kevin Jr., took advantage of his mother because you were spending very high expenses, $120,000 for a birthday party. Who the hell you inviting? $100,000 at Uber Eats. What the hell you eat for $100,000 at Uber Eats? So for you to sit there and have all this sympathy and blame the guardian, you're the reason why the guardian is there. You did the spending. You was the power of attorney. You was the healthcare proxy. You had the complete power. So the only thing that's above a power of attorney is a guardian. And it wasn't the family, which the family should have challenged the son and got guardianship. It would have been expensive, but it took the bank to stand up to Wendy Williams out of the welfare of Wendy Williams. It took the bank to do it. So not her sister that said, I'm just this good old lawyer and I love my sister. Not the niece. Oh my, they probably was at the birthday party eating burgers, shrimp, french fries. Because one of the lawyers said they won't get it to another family member is going to fight the judge to give it to another party. So clearly the family was incompetent. Clearly, the father couldn't do it because he's in his 90s. Because they always in it. They always spending the money. I don't think that Kevin Hunter spent $100,000 on Uber Eats himself. A lot of people in that family was eating at Uber Eats, allegedly. A lot of people was at that birthday party for $120,000. So then he tried to say, well, my mom lived a very expensive life. No, baby. You did all that spending. You're the power of attorney. Your mother don't know how to spend money with the American Express. She was with you. You could have shut it all down, but you took advantage. You took advantage. You took advantage of your mother. You took advantage, baby, and own it. It's eating you up. Own it. Everybody took advantage of Wendy Williams. Now, let's be clear. I'm not going to just blame her ex-husband of that divorce. Wendy Williams have always been drinking liquor for a long time. She's been an addict and drinking since she met her husband. I think he made it worse, but we have to give a cold fact. Wendy Williams made a choice to drink, and now she's paying the ultimate price, and her mind is gone. It's gone. The little piece of that mind, we saw a 2022 thing of Wendy Williams. The rest of her mind is just gone. So finally, the team just came out and said, hey, she got dementia. You know, they're just going to admit that we all knew this. Because if you work in healthcare, you can tell the woman wasn't well. When I saw this woman on the media, going to sleep in the store, talking crazy, I'm having my show. I'm bringing my show back. I don't care who knows. When Jason Lee, to Jason Lee, when he came out and said, well, Wendy Williams told me that she's married, and he posted all on the blog, knowing that your friend, mine is gone. But he ran to the public and said, she's married. She came out, I'm married. And I don't care who knows. No, F you in a good way. And then she cussing people out randomly. She don't know who she talking about. She don't know where she's at. She's completely lost. She's in a new reality. Do she need television cameras? No. If that's the case, then let us get a nursing home reality show then. If we're allowing Wendy Williams to be exploited, then we might as well get CNA's Gone Wild at Chicago edition, or CNA's Gone Wild in Mississippi, and bring cameras and assisted living facilities and nursing homes so we all can make a coin. Since we're going to exploit Wendy Williams, have to be, it's plenty dementia places that I know that would love to be in front of, well, they won't love to be in front of the camera. I love to have the fame being in front of the camera and having all of these characters. Okay? So if we can't bring cameras in a nursing home to exploit the people, then why the heck we exploit Wendy Williams and them swollen feet? Baby, I just don't get it, and I'm hurt. And I cried because I tell my mother every time she's sober, I said, Mom, I'm going to have to leave because you're drinking so heavily. And one of the and when I sat in a room and this doctor told me, she said, ma'am, you got to stop the drinking. It is affecting your body. And once that doctor told her that, I know my mom, when I was driving her back home, I said, she's not going to stop. She immediately went back to get the liquor. And she would fight you. She would say mean and nasty things. Don't tell me what to do. I'm grown. Blah, blah, blah. She would go on these rants. And you got to let it be. And I just can't witness that. I can't witness that enablers like giving. I don't buy my mother. Like anytime she asks, can you go to liquor? I will lie and say, oh no, my car, I ain't got no car. I can't do it. Or I left my license. I don't have my ID. I would never buy her liquor. I never did because I know what kind of a monster she become when she drinks. She don't know her cutoff. And so I just can't witness that. And I would see people would give my mother liquor just so she could babysit, just to control her. Like I've seen people do it. And she just, this story just, this one makes me want to just go back home and just stay there because I just can't. I understand. It's painful because when you have somebody that's abusing alcohol, it is a painful, slow death, and you see it, and it's very mean, very nasty. And my mother is poor. I can imagine her being wealthy and having all these yes men. The reason why I think she survived the way she survived is because she's poor. Because if she had the Wendy Williams type of fun, she'd have been gone. It's just the reason why she ain't gone, because she have a certain limit, because a certain amount that she can afford. But when I look at Wendy, she can get the best liquor that money can buy, and they're going to feed it to her. And then her team, this is so painful because it breaks my heart. When her team member, they asked her, well, do you think Wendy Williams' health is somewhere? Oh, there's nothing wrong with Wendy Williams' health. That's Wendy Williams. They asked her manager, oh, no, that's Wendy Williams. That's Wendy Williams. Shout out to the driver. The driver said he noticed some change. Shout out to her nephew, noticed some change, but he took advantage of Wendy Williams because how y'all can afford all these expensive chains? Who bought it? Y'all got all these big old chains around your neck. So it's a very painful thing. When I saw that document, just the words that Wendy said, I could just close my eyes and I could just remember just yesterday of somebody acting just like that. And I could just close my eye and I said, oh my God, it hits closer home. And as I said, okay, this is where I have to go. And it's the most painful feeling ever because I refuse to just see someone drink and drink and drink and drink, knowing that it's destroying your body. And then just careless and reckless. When I saw that Wendy Williams, when she had a wad of cash just laying around and her team is opening up separate accounts, you're not helping the situation, stupid. Just because you open up a separate account, they're going to freeze that and it goes to the Guardian. They're trying to find all of these loopholes because they want to still control and keep her there. And hopefully, I believe the Guardian fired all those people. I hope all those people are fired because they're all leechers. She don't need a team for what? What she needs is caregivers, a sober house, no liquor. That's it. And she will be at peace. But she still got the dementia, but you're affecting the dementia so much with all the liquor. That's not helping. That's the enablers not helping. And unfortunately, it's sad. She needed a press circle. She needed a family. She needed a support system. She didn't need these enablers. And then they said, well, her husband, this wasn't going on. Her husband's a part of the problem because he cheated. So he ain't innocent. The man was screwing other men, allegedly, and screwing women and got her pregnant. So he's not innocent. He just is evil because you knew your wife was an addict. Why would you go out there and creep and get the woman pregnant? At least you could have put a condom on that Peter Packer, but you got the woman pregnant knowing that just pushed her over the edge. She was going to go over there anyway, but it just pushed up the timeline, in my humble opinion. So I'm seeing this and I'm just hurt. I am emotional. I am broken. And they put it out like Sherry took Wendy Williams' spot. Let me tell you, Sherry is not the boss. The Mercury, Deramar Mercury, they're the boss, right? Sherry Shepherd is the employee. She can be replaced. She don't have no power, right? She's the day-to-day operations. You know, she have a little power in the studio, whatever. But Deramar Mercury, the people that's over her, they control that, right? So they picked her. They felt that Sherry Shepherd was dependable. Sherry Shepherd was sober. Sherry Shepherd don't have lipedema. Sherry Shepherd ain't always sick. Sherry Shepherd can hold a conversation. She was able to host very well, lighthearted comedy, and she held the ratings. So they said, okay, let's pick Sherry Shepherd. She didn't come in and steal Wendy Williams' job. Wendy couldn't do it because she's a drunk. She got dementia. She been lost that show. It was just, she just couldn't do it no more. They was like, listen, she ain't dependable. Let's get somebody else because all of these guest hosts not working. Let's get somebody. And Sherry did it. I don't think we should judge Sherry because if I was in that predicament, somebody else is a whole drunk, lose their mind, they can't do it, then go ahead on, get. I do it. I'm healthy. Now, when it comes to DJ Booth, a lot of people didn't even know why he left. And according to rumors, they were saying that he was sleeping with Wendy Williams or whatever the case may be. I do believe they have slept together. But I think DJ Boo just saw all of the mess, all of the drunk, and when she almost passed away, Wendy Williams almost passed away in the apartment. She drunk herself. They had to rush her to the hospital, had to get multiple blood transfusions. They had to call her son. Her son was her healthcare proxy, and he told him to call 911. And then, because he saw the decline, it scared DJ Booth. He didn't even want to do the show anymore. It scared him because he saw the enablers. He saw the toxic. He saw it all. And he said, baby, I can't do that. And I don't think he wanted to sleep with her anymore because when she get drunk, she probably want to sleep. And if it almost felt like you taking advantage of a mentally deranged person, and technically you are. So I think he's like, listen, I'm tired of being humping you. I'm tired of in your box. I'm tired of seeing you drunk. I'm just tired of this. This is too toxic. And so he left. And I'm glad he shared what he shared because everybody wanted to know. I think it scared me. I see it because I tell my mother this every time when she's sober. I said, Mom, you got to stop the drinking. It is taking you out. Don't you see it? And then I have to get up, go and cry, and just leave it on. And it's painful when I'm packing my bags because the reason why I came back to Chicago, it was not just for my grandmother, but it was also like my mother. She had her health crisis. And it gets so bad when she had to be hospitalized. And most of the hospitalization is because of the drinking. And I see her in denial lying to the doctors. I see her when she's in strong denial. I see her. And then when you say it, I'm not alcoholic. I like to drink. You act like I'm an alcoholic and you get denied. And there's nothing you can do. And I refuse and I can't spend money I did not have to just come and just be here and be referees and tell her to go to bed, talking to her like she's a child because she gets so out of control that you got to tell her, hey, stop that. Because she's it's just a lot. And so I just got tired of being that. I just got tired of that. And when you would hide, like she would hide liquor, or she drinks so much she can't even hide it. It would just be everywhere, bottles. And I just get tired of taking a garbage bag full of bottles of liquor. It pains me because I just can't see it. It makes me sad. That's why I was in the gym a lot because it was just so. It is a painful. I don't wish that on nobody. It's just a painful thing to see somebody go through that. It is very painful because if you do the research, if you understand, you know what is coming. And I don't want to be there when it comes. I just don't, because it's like, it's too much. It's too much. And it's nothing that you can do. And the only reason why Wendy got her help is because she had a lot of money that was on the line. A lot of money was on the line and somebody stood up for her. But the average person with no money can't step in and say, I'll be a guardian, or I will step in. You can't. You know, people have rights. And who want to have that battle? And a battle that you may lose. So the best to save my sanctity, to save me, I have to go. And I have to pack my bags because it is very painful. And it's a lot of stuff I just don't share. It's just so painful. When I saw Wendy Williams' story, it's very, very painful because it started out you having fun. It started having fun. And she getting older and more sickly. I see it with my mother. I see it. It's just like now your health is declining because you're in your 50s now. You know, you're in your mid 50s. So, you know, you can't keep doing that. Back in the day, you probably could back in your 20s, 30s, but now you're in your 50s, babe. gotta stop. But you can't stop someone that's not willing to see they have a problem. They're in denial. So I don't want to see it the last part. I just don't want to just do it. I keep my phone, I keep calling and see how everybody's doing. But to keep my mental health in order, I just can't sit here and see someone drink themselves to a early grave. I just can't do that because I sound like a broken record. I sound like the outcast. I sound like the evil one. Because when you're trying to get somebody to be sober, you are evil. And so you don't want to be around. You hear different stuff. You need to go back. You don't want to tell them. And so, okay. So, it's a very painful thing. And I am praying for Wendy family. I am praying for her family. I am praying that Wendy get the help. Sadly, it's going to get worse because she's already there. Man, when you get dementia, that's it. It's like a baby. Whoosh, whoosh. It's not because you see it in this show, and a lot of the people helped her get there, including her family, some of her family members, including her son, was there, and he took advantage of Wendy, and that's the thing you can't unsee. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's just really sad. And now her team that's around her just have to admit it. Like, homegirl got dementia. It affected her. It's somewhere her brain. Like, it's so much that you do it. It affects. I think that we haven't done enough research, but being addicted to alcohol, it affects you. It does. And for a family member to spend $120,000 on a birthday party is evil. And it's painful. So I just, when I watched this documentary, it had me in tears. It had me in tears. It had me in tears. It just had me in tears. That's all I can say. It just had me in tears. I am almost lost for words, but I just have to tell people, man, get help. And that's why I had to join. When I get back to that, I have to join a support group for people, for children that mothers and addicts, alcoholics. You have to join that support group because it's a very painful thing. And I talked to someone, and they said, well, you have to go. You can't change that, and it is very painful and it's hurtful, and it's just painful. It's just really painful. My mother addiction got so bad, she couldn't even care for her mother anymore. So I know you can't care. And I told someone, I said, it's very painful. And that's all I can say. It's so much I can't say. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to keep it on with the wheels, but it's kind of hard because this is hitting real life. This is hitting real life. And of course I can make fun and jokes or whatever, her telling that woman to go downstairs and get fatter. Her calling her whatever, stupid, telling people shut up, raising her middle finger. I've seen it. I've seen this. And I make so much comedy out of it because I have witnessed this from a little boy on up. So, and my mother is not famous. So I could just imagine Wendy Williams and what her family is going through, her being famous, where everybody know what she's doing. And then the cats, like, she don't need no cats. She's not in her right mind to take care of no cats. Of course, the cats gonna have things, liquids coming out of them and all over. She cannot take care of no cats. So it's just like when I was watching, I was getting a little triggered because it's just like they were doing too much. And then y'all talking like this lady ain't got dementia. Like, the lady ain't sick. She is sick. And clearly, like, the producers, they even had to know. They said, you know what? I gotta cut the cameras off. It was just so bad, they just cut the cameras off. It was just that bad. Anytime the producer say, listen, we gotta cut the cameras off, this is just too much. But they got enough footage. But they just said, listen, let's cut it off. But you should have never cut it off. But I get it. This is a business. And no matter how emotional her family is, Wendy signed that deal. She signed that deal. This is the entertainment industry. They don't care. I remember it was a story that a Red Fox, he passed away on set. And he had a heart attack. And in front of his wife, the producer said, oh my gosh, what are we going to do for the show now? Dead. They didn't talk about, oh, my heart, I prayed for you. I'm praying for the family. They said, what are we going to do to finish taping this show? This also reminded me with Bernie Mac when he was sick. Wasn't a backline. The producers forced him, can you come and do the show? We will pump you up. We will bring doctors on set and all of that. And he worked while he was still sick instead of him getting help because the producers, he had a job to do as people, depending on this industry, don't give a damn about your health. And that's why it's so important. Family is important. Having somebody that love your back. And family don't always mean blood. It could be a stranger, like Wendy Williams' friend. You could tell she was a friend, and you could tell that Wendy Williams is in strong denial, and she's dealing with the end result of this. And this is sad. This is part of her karma, a little bit, I would say, because how many times she made fun of Whitney Houston, drug addiction, Whitney Houston, all of this stuff, crack is whack. She made fun of Whitney Houston, etc. Now she's dealing with it even worse than Whitney Houston because when Whitney Houston was going, there was no social media. So we're doing with this on X, Facebook, TikTok, everything. We dealing with it live on YouTube. Back when Wendy was going through it wasn't no YouTube, right? It wasn't about 85,000 people an hour talking about you. So it's all already, it's for her expense. And this is the industry. Because the industry don't care. They care about the bottom line because Lifetime is going to make millions off of this documentary. They're going to make millions off of this documentary. And yes, Wendy have got a payday, but it's going towards doctors, going towards her guardian and the team, the brain. It's going to all of that. And eventually Wendy Williams will be in a facility. That's the next step. I've heard that she will be, they're looking to put her in a long-term facility. That's the next step. I don't think they're going to keep her at home. I think she's going to be in a long-term facility. I really believe so. I believe, if not, she ain't there yet, but I believe she will be. If not, I believe she's already there because I've heard rumors that she was in a long-term facility, and that's it. You will never see Wendy Williams again. In the public eye. I think this is the end for Wendy as this documentary, and we won't see no more of her. I think that's it. I think this is the closing chapter of that, and it's really sad. It's very emotional because this is my message to anybody that's viewing this is to take your health serious. And alcohol, no matter how good it may make you feel, it can affect you. Many people say, I had a friend, he said, Wiley, you bring me to your house and you said, just take all the liquor home. You don't drink. Like I remember one time, because everybody was for New Year's Eve, I bought all this liquor for New Year's Eve, and my friend came over maybe about 7-8 months ago. It was in the same spot in the same refrigerator. And I said, just come get it. And he sat down and he said, well, I don't understand why you don't drink like that. You may drink 1 or 2 sips, like, because I said the reason why I don't want to play around with this, because this have turned into evil for my mother, and I don't want to be her. I don't want to be her. I don't want to be that monster. And I just gave him all that liquor. And I mean, it was Hennessy, Grey Goose. It was a lot. I just bought liquor. I'm like, hey, it's my birthday, wine. I used to drink a little wine, but I immediately stopped because I don't want to end up like I see how my mother is when she's drunk. And I see how sweet and how educated and how much of a go-getter when she's sober. It's like it's 2 different personalities. And usually I just tell people, my mom is a functioning, alcoholic. She just drink on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. At least she go to work. And that's no longer the case. It'd be Monday, it'd be a Tuesday, it'd be a Wednesday, it'd be Sunday morning, it'd be a Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday. You could just sense it. And I just don't want to see that anymore. It's a very painful situation to see your mother go through this, and to see people they love it because they can take more control of her when she's that way, and I don't want to witness that anymore. I've seen enough, and it's nothing more I can do. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. It's just painful because I told her when I got off the plane, I said, Mom, it's affecting you. You go into the doctors now and you're getting hospitalized now. You got to stop. And then I knew it. And I said she won't, and that's the sad part about it, and that's my fear. I don't want her to go like that, but it's nothing I can do because when you see my mom, she have two different. She would be just as calm, and when she's sober, but when she's not sober, she's a different person. And that's the thing with Wendy. I think she will be pretty much a decent type of person if she didn't have alcohol. But that alcohol, she's really unhinged. You know, she talk mess in her daily life, but you can understand the shady stuff. Then the liquor. Then now you see her when part of the show, Wendy Williams was doing an interview with someone, she started talking about her cats, and she wanted to make it sense. Even during the pandemic, he would have the cue cards. DJ Booth had the cue cards, and she couldn't read it. She didn't know who she was talking about. So it's a lot, and it's painful. That's all I can say. It's a very painful thing, and I'm gonna open up the phone lines to get y'all point of view of this. I just was like, yikes! It's very painful. That's all I could say. This documentary, it's very painful. That's all I can sum this up. And when I watch it on my channel, when I watched it on the app, and I saw it, and people were talking about it, I wrote an article. In the headline, I just said alcohol. I said alcohol abuse. What was the headline that I put for Wendy Williams? Let me make sure I really read that headline, because that's what I could come up with. I just make sure y'all I said alcohol abuse hurt Wendy Williams' health. It did. It hurt her. That's the root problem of it, you guys. That is the root problem. That is the root problem. And it's very, 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 very painful. Make sure y'all like this video. I'm going to go ahead on and open up these phone lines if y'all want to call in and to give y'all thoughts about this. I want to hear your thoughts now. What is your thoughts for those that have watched this documentary? And it was something. That's all I can say. It was really something. So I put the number on the screen here. We'll love to get your thoughts here. A friend of mine said, alcohol. A friend of mine's I got on the phone with, and she told me, she said, Wiley, alcohol could put it messes with your brain, if you abuse it. And I started researching some things about it, and I said, oh my gosh. I said, okay. It's just a very painful, very, very painful thing. And I am praying for, anybody that battle with this, because I see somebody in my chat right now. They were saying they're going through the same thing with their mother or with their father. And many people said, hey, I experienced that with my mother and with my father. And then also, too, oh my gosh, I am also getting breaking news here. This is some breaking news here that we are getting, and I want to read it here about Flint City Council man have passed away. If you all did not know who he was, give me a quick second here. I want to show you all this really quickly. Let's switch gears here. This is breaking news that we're getting. My producer, thank you so very much. My producer have just sent this to me, and literally the city council member have passed away. And oh my gosh, y'all know who he was. Oh my gosh, outspoken Flint City Council member Eric Mays dies. They said the city of Flint is mourning the loss of the outspoken councilman Eric Mays, who died on Saturday. The city announced Mays' death Saturday evening, but did not specify when or how he died. Flint Mayor Sheldon said bold and courageous service made him beloved among his constituents in the first ward. wow, this is really sad. I don't know why, what happened. We don't have any of those details right now, but um, oh my gosh, it was such an iconic force for the city of Flint. This man will be like point of information. I mean, he's some of his iconic moments of really speaking for his constituents and really telling it like it is. Many people said he should have ran for Congress. They would love his spirit to be in the White House. This is really sad. And he was under investigation at one point because they said he was misappropriating funds, and many people wanted him out of city council. Um, this is article came out on February 7th that investigation of Flint Councilman Eric May's GoFundMe accounts lands with their attorney general. They said a Michigan State Police investigation of a GoFundMe account tied to the Flint City Council member Eric Mays have been referred to the Michigan Department of Attorney General for possible prosecution. So he's been under some investigation, and this just happened back on February the 7th. So 2024. This is really sad, you guys. He did. He was a smoker, because many times I watch the city council meeting. He said I got to go out and get a cigarette. So wow, this is really sad. I am sending my condolences to his family. This is really, really sad. I don't have any more information to what we have. We are just getting this. And this is really sad. I am sending my prayers to Eric May's family. Definitely sending my prayers to his family. Wow. This is quietly disturbing. Yikes. All right. Anybody want to say something? Anybody have a memory that they want to share? Let me know if you have a memory you want to share about him, of something he said that was iconic. This is really something. He have passed away, and I'm definitely sending my prayers to his family. Definitely sending my prayers to his entire family and to the city of Flint. Because like I said, he really stood up. Whether you agree with him or not, he stood in his belief. He stood in his belief. And this is something where he will be greatly missed. A lot of the city council people, some of them were jealous of him with his internet fame. He was an icon in this nation. He will go down as being one of the fireball believer into bringing transparency and really helping his community. So again, we are praying for his family. And I have so many people. This is sad. I'm just really looking at this. Let me go on X right now and see what is they saying on Twitter. Give me a second. I want to see exactly what they saying on Twitter right now. Give me a second. He was an activist and very entertaining, outspoken councilman. Okay, they said, so sad. It was reported to me by a trusted source that Flint Councilman Eric Mays had passed away. I talked to him often, and his leadership in Flint will truly be missed. He was truly a fighter for Flint. They say, may Allah be pleased with Eric Mays. Here are some of the funniest moments he stood on business. Many people are posting clips of his most iconic moments. He's now trending on X as of right now. Many people are definitely trending on X. I mean, everybody is talking about it. This is really something all over the nation. Many people is talking about it. So this is really sad, you guys. Wow. This is a very sad day. A lot of people is saying it. We have people. Somebody says some of Eric May's greatest moments in the council are in the thread. Hearing that this great man had passed is breaking my heart. He was indeed hilarious, but he was also extremely transparent, something that most politicians lack these days. He was unique and needed voice, lighting his world rest peacefully and with honor, Mr. Mays. So everybody is making comments about this. This is all over the nation. People are saying something. Wow, I am praying for his family. Like I said, definitely praying for his family, and this is something where we will greatly, 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 greatly miss him. Wow, this is really something. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Wow. I'm just. This is really sad. I was not expecting this to read a headline like this. Like this is really, 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 really sad. Wow. Serious. Oh my gosh. Wow. Like, cause I will always say I love his videos. I would love his videos. His videos was on point. I mean, his most of the sessions was on point because it went viral. It really went viral. I mean, they're posting some of his most iconic moments. Oh my gosh. They're saying right now, they're saying, I'm reading on Twitter, and again, this is unreported. This is just what I'm reading. They're saying that he was found dead. That's what they're saying. Someone said that he was found dead. Again, I can't confirm that, but they're saying right now that he was found dead. Wow. Okay. Yikes. This is really, really, really something that this have happened for many people. I know folks are mourning his loss. We have so many. I have so many memories of seeing this man. It was one lady. Oh, thank you. Like he was like going at it. He was making fun of how she talked. Oh my god. It was like it had some great moments. Some say heart attack, some say cardiac arrest. Yeah, so it's just a lot. I'm trying to see whatever rumors. I'm really trying to get as much information as possible. Someone said, "Rest in peace, Councilman Eric. There will never be another one like you. I know your family and the voters in your ward are sick right now." Many people are saying just it's all over. Wow. I'm really looking. Everybody's just in shock. Really, everybody's just in shock right now. Wow. This is really something. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all of all the Wendy Williams fans. Pray, but before we go, I just want to ask you on the last couple of minutes of the show. Do y'all agree with them bringing this documentary out? I want to see by the show of a 1, you agree. Post a 2, you don't agree. I want to get this thought before we go. Press 1 if you agree that this should have happened. Press 2, no. Press 1 that it should have happened. Press 2, no. That it should happen. Let me see. Press 1, you agree that this should happen. Press 2, no. I want to hear your thoughts. Press 1, you agree this should have went on. Press 2, no. I want to see your thought. Press 1, you agree that this should have went in air. Press 2, no. Press 1, you agree that it happened. Press 2, no. Let me know. Let me know. I want to know. I want to hear your thoughts too. If anybody want to call in and give their thoughts. Oh wow, it's late. So first of all, okay. And I see some ones in here. I see some ones. Okay. Okay. All right. And I agree to one of the comments here, having the enablers being exposed. Yes, in that regard, yes, because at first I was like, okay, why has happened? But as an educational point, it's to what to look out for. Okay, all right, I see that. I see that point. Wow, I've seen people in here all over the country is all over here. Wow. Shout out to my Facebook family over here on Facebook. I have family over here on my Facebook is kind of on this. Wow. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna definitely bring you on so you can give your thoughts about it, because I want to hear from the people about what do they think about this Wendy Williams. Where is Wendy? Lifetime. Hey, welcome to the show.
All right. Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
So I don't think that this was exploitation. I actually think that for those who struggle, this was okay. So I'm going to be real transparent. I myself can actually say I was going to say a functioning alcoholic, but I don't even know how functional it is anymore. And this is a very progressive disease. I would be interested to know, since they did try to loop Wendy in with the Bruce Willis issue, if Bruce was a drinker, because they have not mentioned that. So that would be something to know. And maybe his family kept it a little more quiet if he was. But this is a very progressive and manipulative and selfish disease. And I have lost, I can't even be a parent anymore. And I've lost my marriage, about to lose my home. And you talk about enabling, it's amazing how you put other people into your addiction. And it went from something so innocent, such as entertaining. And then it became days of the week, right? It was wind down Wednesdays, Thursdays. People love their Fridays. And of course, you party on the weekends. And then it progresses and it gets outlandish. And then it's going to conferences and just people have different things. And then life is life. And on top of that, and you just never know what triggers that sends you over the top. And so I don't think that they were exploiting her. I do think it's a very interesting and telling visual of what truly goes on in someone's life and whenever they're struggling. And so parts of this was really hard to watch as someone who was actively struggling and in the addiction.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sorry that you experienced that. Are you getting the help? Like, because I see in Wendy's story that they're putting her in sober house. So have people was there to put you in those predicaments, like to get help? Rehab?
So, okay, so let's play those games. And people don't talk about this. Rehab is not for everyone, or there's different types of rehabs. I've been to rehab three times. And it's not always successful. It can be successful for some time. And I will tell you something else that people struggle with. It's the shame and guilt. So I know you speak about your mother, and I guarantee you it pains her, because we are aware that we are causing you pain and angst. It's never missed on us. But to come out of it is so hard that it's easy to literally sleep your life away. It's like, let me numb myself out of this because I'm inflicting pain. And how can I take my family members away from the pain that I'm causing them? And I remember one time my son said to me, it's so hard to see your hero fall from grace. So I feel like her son is witnessing something very similar, and that has to be very difficult for him. And I don't necessarily think that he's taking advantage of her. You know, he doesn't want the alcohol in the house. My sons don't want it either. They will not go purchase it. So I have to go and get it myself. My husband won't deal with it. Can't stand the smell of it. And I've done this to them because it wasn't always like this. And it's what you watch yourself become, because please don't think that your mother doesn't look in the mirror and remember what she was. It is a very nasty, progressive disease. And dementia is part of it. But if it is caught early enough, and they will tell you this even in rehab, you can regain some of that back. So depending on how much of her memory is actually gone, how much of the dementia is truly there. Because let's also not forget, she is a fame. And so we're not always going to get the whole story. And it was very interesting that they put her, whenever they filed what they filed for her guardianship, they immediately put it on seal. So you can't get access to her records at all. So we really won't know how severe it truly is. So maybe there is a road to recovery from her, where Bruce Willis looks like there really truly is not road for recovery. This looked like when she was sleeping in the bed tonight, when they walked in on her, you know, when I forget his name, but the main handler.
I think you somebody Will. I think his name is Will, the manager.
Yes. Yep. Yes. She was that, and she was like, when he wanted her to get up in an hour to get dressed, and she was like, I may need several hours. So she'll wake up and she'll pop up and probably be speaking just very clearly before she starts drinking again. So, you know, some of it is just, it's a cycle. And, you know, so she seems more coherent than what Bruce Willis appeared.
Let's also keep in mind that was back in 2022. So we don't know what
that's fair.
Our mind say is now. But I want to ask you, because I'm curious, what made you drink? What was some of your childhood? Was some of your marriage? What made you get to that point where it became a habit?
It was innocent. So at first it was just social drinking. It was just out with it was, you know, business functions, and you know, it was, that's what everyone was doing. It took away the social anxiety, and it was innocent. And then it became more of a stress reliever. It turned into let me wind down tonight. These people got on my nerves, you know, kind of take away that. And then it became more frequent. And then again, like I said, life started lifing. And yes, there were issues that became in my marriage and stuff like that. And it was an easy getaway. It was, oh, you know, it's the end of the night. I got to get up in the morning, prepare for this meeting. Let me go on and wind down with a few glasses of wine. Well, a few glasses of wine, when you really look at it, turns into a half bottle. And it doesn't take much to turn into an entire bottle. Next thing I know, my wine starts missing in the house because I'm drinking the bottles. And then when they showed her tonight, she was heavy on the vodka. And when I went into rehab the first time, I'll never forget, I was on heavy Tito's is my preference. Love some Tito's. And there is a difference for me whenever I'm drinking with wine versus whenever I go into Tito's. And you go into a blackout state when you start drinking so much. And it's even, and I think there's like different thresholds that you cross over when you really start drinking heavy that you don't often realize that you've moved into. There's levels to this. You don't just wake up and all of a sudden you're an alcoholic. You know, I remember one day I was going to work and I was shaking. And I was like, good grief, why in the world am I shaking? I can't even drive right. So if the police were driving behind me, they would probably want to pull me over. I had to stop by a convenience store, get a 4-pack of wine, drink one of them in the car, just to drive like a sober person. And that was when I had my first red flag that, oh, this may be a true issue. So each time that I've been to rehab, they've been on my own. I've never been sent because I had a DUI or something like that. It was just, oh, let me go ahead and try to get this in check. But I have not been successful in long-term sobriety.
And I'm so sad that you had to go through that, because I'm asking you these questions because when you said something, don't want to wake up, you just wake up, become alcohol. It comes to that development. It takes time, progress. You know, for my mom, it used to just be the weekends. I knew as a little boy, the weekends she's gonna be drinking, but now as a grown man, and I haven't been in my mother's house in a long time. So I've noticed beforehand on the phone when she's sober and drunk that it's no longer just the weekends. It's Monday morning, Tuesday, it's whatever. Because I would tell people, hey, she's functioning. At least she go to work, and on the weekends we know she's gonna turn up. But now the turn up, it's whatever. It could be in the daytime, early morning, late at night, or whatever. Do you think you would ever be sober again, like completely done with alcohol?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it's going, it's a heavy, deep dive. I will say this. I remember the first time I went to rehab. They put you in the circles and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff is true on TV, some of it. And there were women in there who were talking about, they would say their name. Hey, I'm such and such, and I've been an alcoholic, and blah blah blah. And when they got to me, I couldn't call myself an alcoholic. I don't like labels, right? So I said what my name was, and I said, I struggle with alcohol. It's hard to call yourself something. That's hard. And then they got to this other lady, and she claimed she said her name, and she said she was an alcoholic, and she said she had been sober for 30-something years, and then she fell off. And I looked at her, and I was thinking to myself, I said, so you mean to tell me that you could be in this for 30-something years and be okay, and then all of a sudden something just sends you off? And I was like, if she couldn't do this, I don't stand a chance in hell. That's what I was thinking in my head. It's like trying to wrap yourself around the vision of, I can never, ever in my life touch this again. Like, that's hard. You know what I mean? Like, that means at a celebration, when everybody, because it's around you all the time. And then you get around certain spaces and people will look at you like, well, why aren't you, like something's wrong with you if you don't? And so it's the training of the mind also, because like I have to have water whenever I'm on a sober space. I have to go into, let me have serve me water in a stem glass, just so I can hold the glass like I'm holding a wine glass.
Yeah, because my mom, when she tried to not drink, she drink water and a lot.
Yeah.
And because I started Googling stuff, I started noticing stuff because it affected my mental health. And I had to really look at my mom and look at myself and really look at what she was going through. I used to judge her, but that didn't work. I pray for her because I don't know. I don't know if you ever sat down with your children and told your full story, but I don't know because ever since I've been 33 years. I'm 33 years old, so that's all I know her to drink. I've never seen her just be sober just Monday through Sunday. Never. So I don't know her story. I hear rumors, but not from her. But I know that when she's really stressing out, what she deals with is the alcohol. Because I guess in her mind, it numbs her. But when she gets sober, those problems are still there. But you do it because I guess in her mind, I give her temporary relief, and it just becomes and I can notice when she's really having people around her stressing. A lot of times, in my mother's case, I believe life, having grandchildren now and raising other people's kids and couldn't take care of your. I just saw the stress, and it's just like she drink more and more and more. Do you ever talk to your children about it? Like, did you ever sit them down to say that you're trying? Have it ever been that conversation where they said, Mom, you just need to go away for a while and get help? Have that ever came up?
So the only time it comes up is whenever I go to rehab, and it only comes up with my older two, who are both now adults, young adults at that. But it's just, hey, I'm going away to get better for a little bit. That's how it comes off. But I have never ever sat them down and looked them in their face to say, I'm an alcoholic. Now, my oldest, I don't have to tell him. He knows. And what I have said to him is, don't touch it. I said, it's in your family. And that's the one thing, another thing I think that Black people really have to do better about is really talking about their family history. I remember my white friends, they're really transparent. And I feel like their families are really big on saying, hey, this runs in my family. My such and such was an alcoholic. My blah, blah, blah was an alcoholic. I hear that all the time. But like with my family, I didn't know how deep it ran in my family. And I wish someone would have said, don't touch it. Because sometimes it's just a trigger mentally. And then all of a sudden you're just gone. Like you just have something that, it's in you. You just don't know until it's time for the devil to come out. And then it rears its head. And here it is. And then you're left trying to figure it out. But I did tell my son, don't touch it. You can clearly see it. It's an issue for me. Don't touch it. And it runs deep in your family. So that's what I told him. And then my youngest, it bothers me to even talk to him because I'm to the point where I can't even mother. I can't be a mother to my own child. And my husband, and he's only that by name because, it's over. But I was a great mom. That's the other thing I think as a parent, if you're an active parent, I was an amazing mom. And my older two have that to reflect on. And my youngest one does not have that reference at all. And I'm like, I am raising something that I am ruining his life. And all he will do is grow up and be like, this is how I remember my mom. Walking in and she was passed out. That it just saddens me because I know that's what he is going to deal with. And whenever I think of that, that sends me over the top. Because I'm causing him, I know I'm actively causing my child trauma.
Oh wow. Yes. I remember my mom. When I was in elementary school, I told her, so I don't want to go back home. She drinks, and I guess they told her, and she told me, she said, Marquise, I know it bothers you that I drink, and that's it. It was not, I'm gonna get better, and it was very painful to see it like that, and I'm even more hurt because now, I'm an adult, so it's by choice to be here. But to see my nieces and nephew, to see their grandmother in that predicament is scary. And it's painful because she have not changed. And I don't know if she will change because that's a you thing. Family, we could be supportive, we can educate, we could say, come on, but if you're a grown woman, you have to make that decision for yourself. And if you're not willing to, you will lose. And that's what I told my mother. I said, I fear that you're going to be lonely because don't nobody want to be around that type of behavior. I have loved ones that siblings told me, saying, Marquise, you're good. I can't go back. I can't do it. I can't see her in that predicament. I've had a sister that would tell her, this is why I stay gone because when she stay gone, her kids stay here because you always drink. It's painful, and I'm praying for you because you do lose a lot when you are addicted to that because you're going to lose that marriage. I've seen people, lose everything because of their addiction. And we talk so much about drug addiction, but we rarely talk about alcohol, the alcohol abuse, the disease and the health crisis that it is. I mean, it is a epidemic and it's affecting so many homes.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And so because of that, I do think at the end, just circling back, that I was really excited to see this documentary on Wendy Williams just because it really was helpful. I mean, I can see so much of myself, or at least what I hope not to become. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff is helpful to people. I mean, I should know what time, I know what time I'm in Texas. I know what time the liquor stores open in Texas. The first time I can get up and buy them Saturday morning, Monday through Saturday, I got 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sorry, buy alcohol. Let me be specific. And then Sunday, they just loaded till 10 o'clock in the morning. Fabulous. And then I'm sitting there, like I'm Pookie off of New Jack City. Hurry up. 9:49 in the grocery store. Let me wait till 10 so I can go ahead and get something. Like that. I should know what time it is. It's that. That's how you know when you're just in the throes of addiction. Like you up here with the time stamp.
Yeah, we went a couple of months ago. I went to the store with my mom, and we grocery shopping. I said, "Oh, Mom, I'm gonna get stuff for Sunday dinner." And she went to the liquor aisle, and I was just so hurt because she's sober minded, and when she started to drink, it was another person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or when you and then here's the flip side. It's when you drink so much that the inebriated you looks like the sober you, and even because like there's a fine balance, because there's where you cross the line and you're just out of control.
Yes.
And so
it's very painful. It's I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm praying for you, ma'am, and your family, because it is a very painful thing. It's very painful.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate
that
you
you're
sharing
trying.
your story.
It is a stronghold. It's a stronghold. So I am praying that you get through it.
Yeah.
So this documentary, it got me crying. It touched.
I know,
because it just touched home for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And you said something about your children, and it's very important. When it take courage. I thank you for your honesty to say I can't be a mother right now. That to me, like, most mothers can't admit that, that dealing with that, because my mother never could say that, she's not in that predicament, because I could tell that you are trying, because you're going to rehab, you're going to get help. So your conversation is like you're on that path of trying. So I just pray that you get through it. It's going to be rough. It's not going to be easy, but I pray that you get, get to that place of peace.
I appreciate it. And thank you for taking my call tonight.
Thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm going to go back in the bushes. You take care.
All right, you too. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Woo. Oh my gosh. It's this was so amazing. She called in. You know how you get somebody to be talking, and I never shared that story. And so I just want to thank that woman for that testimony, for that. It's because you could just lose everything. I felt guilty, because many people would say, you act like your mother is dead. Why don't you visit your mother? Why don't you call your mother? because it's painful. Like they're just like you're going to go somewhere to get hurt, and I just don't want to see it. And when I leave this time, I don't know. I've tried to make it work. Lord knows I tried, but you can't. And it's really sad because um, when I saw like my grandmother, she needed, a caregiver. And my mother wasn't that one. Um, and that's not easy for my mom's mental health because she's guilty, and I've noticed that she drank even more. She felt like a failure, but she just wasn't in a predicament to take care of somebody. She barely can take care of herself. So I had to take that, seeing my grandmother in a facility, and it was painful. But that environment, it's better for her than here. And that's all I would share at this time. All right. Thank you all for calling and giving your thoughts. I am praying again for Wendy Williams. I am praying again for every mother, every father, every brother, every sister, everybody on planet Earth that is battling this. And I'm praying. I don't judge you because I look at it as it is a health crisis, and it's so many sober people say, "Oh, just get off of it." I mean, that's easy to say until you deal with a crisis, right? You don't know that person's story, and just pray. Because I've did you shouldn't be doing this, and what about your children? What about your grandchildren? That doesn't work. Because I tried it all. I've tried it all. And now it's just up to God, it's up to God because only God can, only God can do it. I have to give it to him. I mean, this was another confirmation for me to go, seeing this documentary. It was very painful. I did not want to see it. But I was laughing watching it because it was like you have to laugh to keep from crying because it was some stuff she was saying. I know she ain't mean no harm, but you have to just go ahead and just get a little chuckle in because she was letting them people have it. And I understand her employees. I mean, that's your boss. You can't go around making fun of your boss. You can't. These people got to get other jobs. In the industry, if you're labeled difficult or cussing somebody out or spilling AT, you won't get employed nowhere in the industry. So you have to take that and say, "Oh, Wendy is fine. My client is fine. My what's name is fine." I've had people that worked on Hollywood sets, and they would have to beg that person or try to get that person sober enough to deliver their lines. I've seen people say, "Hey, Wiley, I work with this actor. They're drunk," and how mean and nasty they are to their people. But you have to pay your bills. So I can't tell you, y'all need to quit because who gonna pay their mortgage? A lot of these people have bills to be paid. And just because you work for Wendy Williams don't mean that you're wealthy, right? Most of them are living check to check. Especially living in New York, because look what she lost. I believe if Wendy Williams was sober-minded, she would still have her show. But she don't. It's not good at all. Part of me said you watched the movie, you didn't like not you didn't like the movie. So I think y'all this is really good because y'all on this journey, baby. I do want to thank my audience because y'all have been there for me for this particular journey. I love you all for y'all amazing help being there for me from day one. Most of y'all have just stuck by my side. And yes, we are leaving Chicago. Very painful to leave, but it's time. It's time for me to live my life because I feel like I'm trying to rescue someone from drowning, and they're saying, "Don't help me." And it's so many dynamics with it. so many dynamics that I could say. It's multiple factors of it, and and it's like you're trying to rescue people that don't want to be rescued, and it's so much. And I'm praying for her. I didn't think it was a good thing for Wendy family to share. After watching your show, it opened up conversations that needed to be had. Yes, and it's they said, "But what about your grandmother?" I have to pray. It's a very. I just have to pray. I have to pray for it because that situation was very painful too. It's just painful. It's to a point in my life where I have to just focus on my life. It's sad, but to keep my life in order, the hard work that I did by the grace of God, I did a lot of work to get my mental health at a better place than what it was. I have to live my life. I cannot afford. I've worked. I've put in the work, and I refuse to go back to that. Um, and I refuse to go back to that moment where my mind was compromised because I decided all those stresses to get to me. So now I have to, you know, uh, take the thing. It's a lot of stress here. This is a very high stressful environment, and I won't make it if I continue to be in that stressful environment. And I had to see it. I knew it from day one, but still, that's family, and you still wanted closure. And I've had the most closure that I'm going to get, because it's like, yeah, I wanted some closure, right? And I've gotten as many answers I'm going to get, and the rest is up to God. The rest is up to God. That's all I could say. The rest is up to Him. I've did everything I could do, humanly possible could do, because I've tried everything. I thought, well, maybe it's a career. Maybe she want to do this in her career. Let's support that. But, you have that habit, no matter what you're going to do, you got to control that. Maybe if you move to this, it doesn't matter. You have to, that's a habit where you can move anywhere in this nation. If you are addicted to something, you're going to be addicted to it. So I pray for you all. God bless you. All right. All right. So I'm looking forward to the future. Tomorrow we'll be doing part 2 of the Wendy Williams documentary. Woo. Baby, I'm still gagging over part 1. Part 2, oh my God. So that's even, I think the niece is going to show up. Her niece is showing up on part 2. She's going to be gathering the enablers, the staff. I'm looking forward to that. So, yes, it's going to be a lot. Thank you all so very much. Thank you to that caller that called in. God bless you to that caller. Love you for sharing your story. And it's not too many people that will share that story to the world. It's not too many people that will get into their business, but only on this platform, because my platform is a safe space for is a safe space. It's a safe space. So, because I'm not expecting the audience to be vulnerable, to express how they truly feel. If I don't, this is the only show that would do it. So I love doing this. This is my sanctuary. I feel so good. And I want to thank this show, because this show have kept me at peace. It have helped me go through a lot. You all have been there for me, your emotional support, your encouraging words, your financial support. You all have been there for me. And I'm so glad that I'm able to entertain you all in your living rooms, in your kitchen, in your bedrooms, while you at work, while you got the truck driving. Some of y'all listen to me on your Uber rides, on your Lyft rides. Y'all make sure y'all give these people a 5-star rating, So I want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for watching the Wiley Show. God bless you and thank you. Now, you want to meet me in person? We'll be in Vegas. I'm looking forward to Vegas because I need a vacation. I need a vacation. I haven't had a vacation in forever. I need a vacation. Like we just I ain't even got no hair to lay down, but just have a vacation, right? We have Couture Bay joining us. We're doing this together, and I'm excited because I think this is going to be awesome. April 26th to the 28th. If for more information, you can email me at wileyshowproduction@gmail.com, wileyshowproduction@gmail.com. Book your room. It's going to be exciting. You don't have to stay at the Palace Station because if you want to stay on the Strip, you can stay on the Strip. Wherever you want to stay, because we'll be on the Strip, but we'll be staying at the Palace Station. So whatever, just be in Vegas, baby. And then when you get there, email me so you can be known where we're at and everywhere so we don't have to be on spot. Okay? This was fun. Yes. If you want to contribute to the Wiley Show, I see some people in here that have contribute to our show. Please do so. $ Marquise Wiley 28 Zelle WileyShow@gmail.com. Love you all. Y'all gonna be on my journey. We got a lot of vlogs to do. What live type of vlog of traveling. So yes, they said T1000 said Wiley has lost so much weight. It is time for another photo shoot. Okay. Woo, did I lose the weight? I lost the weight. I'm losing weight, child. You better know it. You better know it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, child. Okay, so I put in the work because I saw something very stressful for me. And I said, well, what can I do? I don't want to drink, abuse that. And because I'm a social, really, when I say social, maybe once or twice a year. So I said, let's go to the gym. So I do want to thank my personal trainer, my expert fitness family, my personal trainer, Tevin. God bless you to that amazing team that have helped me out all over the nation. Just all over that. Shout out to Expert Fitness. They did that. Many people will say, oh, it's because of Ozempic. Okay. Now, proud of me, you did say you watched that movie. Do you want to give your thoughts, proud of me? You can call in because you said you watched that, but I want to make sure we get your thoughts because you said you watched the movie, the Tyler Perry movie. So see if you can call in. We give your thoughts of the film because you actually work on Hollywood, and why not? We close out with your thoughts. Some a little light. Yes, Wiley is looking good on you. Can you tell? You can tell if congrats. I just did it. I just worked that every day, and I was packing and get myself together, trying to save as much coins as possible because I'm going back to Dallas and everything. So, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, let's get proud of me on the show. Hey, did you see?
Hey, Wiley.
Did you see Mia Copeland? How was the show? How was the movie? Did you enjoy it? Coming from a person,
Wiley. So first of all, I had put it on. So I did what I said. As soon as you ended your live, I went on my Netflix and I put it on. So first of all, I wanted to turn it off after 3 minutes. So KLE said earlier he turned it off after 10 minutes. I turned it off after 3 minutes. So that was first. And then I was like, well, dang, Wiley and everybody else, they've already watched it. So I should at least try to finish it. So, child, I finished it. It was absolute garbage. I'm so disappointed. I cannot believe Tyler Perry has all this money and this is what he sat down and came up with. And so just like somebody else said, because somebody was asking about the outfits earlier, And I think it was KLE responded like, "Girl, you're not even gonna be. The outfits don't even matter. He's right. The outfits don't matter. It is so trash. It's so awful. It's very bad. It's so bad.
I think
It's really bad.
it's like Tyler Perry, man, but bad is good. Well, it's not bad as people not
Well,
viewing
I
it.
mean, everybody watched it, but everybody also gave it 1 star. Like, it's really bad.
And that's why he keep getting those deals, because we're flocking to those films like hotcakes. Every movie.
Well, I mean,
And
we
this could happen
want
the last
to,
25 years.
you know, as Black people, we want to watch. We ask for Black content, but we ask for good Black content. So at least we're going to check it out and give it a chance. But it's bad. It's very bad. It's really awful. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Someone said it verbatim. My friend on Twitter, about we follow each other, Artist Owen, said the reason why Family That Prays was so good because those veterans will not be. You can't give them a bad script. Even a bad script, they were so good. They've been in the business for over decades. That movie was like one of his best. I believe one of his films. If you have to judge, I believe Family That Prays is like number 1 almost.
Yeah, fact. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Tyler Perry himself is actually not a bad actor. I really love Tyler's cameo in Gone Girl. Like, he was really good as a defense attorney, right?
He's not a bad actor. Yeah.
It was so good.
And I don't necessarily believe like he's a bad writer. If he had like a Spike Lee or co-writer, not even like a Spike, someone to make
He
sure
just needs somebody to proofread it, because like, you know what I'm saying? The plot, the synopsis of the film, I mean, I would give the synopsis a 4 out of 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was clever, but it wasn't executed. And Kelly Rowland can't act. And if anybody in the film has to know how to act, it has to be the lead person. Like,
and I don't think he probably could afford. Why do you think that Tyler Perry don't give them opportunity to Halle Berry, or have he tried to give it to one of those type of people? Because it's not telling that he haven't worked with Taraji P. Henson or any of these A-list stars. But why do you think he gave it to Kelly? Is it because he want Beyonce? Like, why do you think? Or have
really
you given
don't know.
other people, they turned it down because you know how maybe she wasn't the main one on the call sheet.
I don't know, but Kelly is the main reason I turned the movie off after 3 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, because
like, she's supposed to be from. Okay, so the film is supposed to, was filmed here in Atlanta, but in the movie it takes place in Chicago. But none of these people have Chicago accents. Like Sean Sager, the actor who played Kelly's character's husband, I could tell he studied.
The one that played the painter. You talk about the lead?
No, Kelly Rowland's character, her husband.
Our husband, yeah, he did good.
Yeah, because him and his brother, Kelly's brother-in-law in the film, that's his actual brother in real life.
Yeah, they did.
They're both from England. So yeah, I can tell they studied Chicago accents, but Kelly sounded like she was from Houston, which she is. So, like, in the film, talking all slow, I'm like, Kelly, girl.
It was, yeah, but he does the casting. Where is this? In Hollywood, they have a casting director, or do Tyler Perry do all the casting? Maybe I didn't look at the credits, but he has the final say so, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the director has the absolute final say so. Like, the casting director is responsible for casting, but if the director doesn't want the person in the film, I mean, they have to go.
Okay. Because do you think it would be better if he do better, like with getting a person that could really cast? If this was a better cast with the same story, you think this would have been a better film? Or
So the thing with Kelly Rowland is, I don't know if you remember this, but you probably do. They were doing a reboot of, I think, Freddy Krueger. I think it was Freddy versus Jason. And Kelly had like a big role in that film. And so she got upset all the way back. This was like in the early 2000s, I want to say. She got upset because people were like, oh my gosh, she can't act. Why did y'all put her in the film? And so her rebuttal was, oh, well, everybody wants to go see it. I mean, it doesn't really matter if everybody watches it, like, if you still, like, suck. And so I feel like that was, like, her thought process with this film. Like, oh, everybody's going to go see it because I'm in it. Right, but...
Because he got another movie that's coming out with Kerry Washington about World War II. Because it's not like this man can't put a good film together. I mean, he just recently did one with Blues, or what was that? Tyler Perry, the Blues movie he made. He just did a film, Blues Man cast, Jazz Man Blues. I'm saying that cast movie was good. I didn't even think Tyler Perry wrote the script and directed. It was just really good, but he had somebody that worked back in the day on a show back in the 90s. She choreographed all the stuff. She helped with the film. Damn, Felicia Rashad's sister. Who is her sister? Her sister was a part.
Debbie Allen?
Yeah, Debbie Allen did help with that film, help choreograph and did some stuff. So, and that, I didn't even know that, you know, it was really good. It was a really good film. Debbie Allen, like that like, if you didn't get to see it, a Jazz Man Blues cast was amazing. That film was good. I'm going to go watch it after the show. But it looked like the cheesy, I won't be necessarily say cheesy, because Jazz Man Blue did go #1 on Netflix. All of his movies pretty much went on Netflix because anything Tyler Perry is attached to, but then again, you got to understand his community. Everything that Tyler did was low budget. It was never, he came from the plays, hooked up a couple
from the beginning. Even when he was on the Chitlin circuit, that was low budget.
So,
stage production, low budget.
Everything. So when was Tyler Perry this high budgeted man? So so that's why the audience like, girl, we never seen stuff that was high budgeted. And then when like if you are still with Spielberg or a Color Purple type of budget where he spent $200 million or $100 million, he don't do that.
That was a waste of a budget to me, because I would have told them, you don't need to waste all this money on this film because nobody is coming to see a Color Purple musical.
So he probably spent, and you know, Tyler Perry do not spend no more than 2 weeks. Sometimes he said he's shot and taped it in 7 days. What was that?
He could try to make a movie in 1 day if he can.
Yeah, Madame Boo.
He'll have y'all working for 24 hours straight.
Madame Boo, he taped that in, I think, 13 days, 7 to 8 days or something like that. And they said Tyler Perry works you. He's a very difficult, he don't like to reshoot, or he like to do stuff in one take. You know what I mean? They say he's very challenging. I don't want to call him mean. Would that be that? He's stern. Is that the correct word? Like he's very stern. Because even Gayle King said he's not easy because he don't like to do stuff over. He don't like to waste. So you better already know your lines when you get on set. You better know the whole thing. But
that's the professional thing to do. And then you have to remember, Tyler started off in theater. So when you are doing theater, like every single actor has to know the entire script front to back. Like you don't just learn your lines. You have to learn everybody's lines on stage. In the event that somebody drops the line or forgets the line, you're going to need to know where to pick up and how to make the scene make sense, since this person just forgot their lines without the audience realizing what's going on. So like that, actually, I can see how he's like that.
And maybe he need
with
another
film and
director.
TV.
Maybe, okay, if he writes it, maybe he needed another director that can really bring his vision to light in a sense of it, because he do everything. I mean, he write, produce, direct. And when you do, you can't be great at everything. Something is going to lack. Or could you?
You can be great at everything. He unfortunately is great at everything except for the dialogue.
Okay.
The screenplay is always the screenplays. And like with him, I mean, like if y'all can tell, like the conversations that these characters are having is not cohesive. Like it's very, like it's unbelievable. Like you don't believe they're actually like having a conversation.
And it's like prolonged too. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, like
it'd be like they'd be talking about apples for like 50 minutes. Good God. And I can tell when I'm watching the Tyler Perry, and that's to be expected. And it's just like it'd be prolonged. Yeah. But it's just like, but then it all and then too, you don't get a lot of trained people in the business, because then when you watch a family that prays, maybe I didn't notice it because they're veterans. That could be too. Mm-hmm. They're dealing with somebody that's been in the business for 40 years that know how to work a script. But
I mean, you're right about that, because he had Kathy Bates and Alfred Woodard and Robin Givens. Like, come on, really?
You have some.
So, I mean, you could really, these are people that can take the phone book and turn it into, a masterpiece film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I get that, because like when you get these new people that really wasn't on,
they don't know how to work the script. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like Kelly is not an actress. Like she's not an actor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Kelly doesn't. You can tell she got the script and she was like, okay, these are my lines. Okay, cool. She doesn't get the script and then, okay, well, how would I say this? And like, how would I say this, and make it sound comfortable? Like you can tell she didn't do that.
Right. Because when I looked at Taraji P. Henson, when she did that movie, they didn't judge her act. They said it was good. Right. Because it was her. She was the lead. She was a pro. She was an Oscar. She did a damn good job with that movie. They still want a part 2 off that film. But then when the other woman played that she was in there for Death Row, what was that lady that she played in the Have Nots, and she was the lead. That was terrible because she didn't know how. Mm-hmm. She wasn't ready to be no lead. The dress.
That's another thing. You want to, you know what I'm saying? You listen, like somebody told me a long time ago, when you're working towards your dream, you have to be ready for it to happen at the drop of a hat. Like you got to be ready. So you want to be an actor? Okay, well, you need to be ready at all times to hop in front of the camera.
That's true.
And don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't freeze up now. Get that script and work.
And then it's okay for, because don't on set they have to put an acting coach. Is that insulting? Don't sometimes they get, because I know they did the intimacy coach for the scene. That was perfect. Whatever had that scene went, the cheek was cheating. So that was iconic. And then she said it was an intimacy coach. That coach.
Yeah, that is that was something that was implemented like a couple of years ago, just to make sure that, just to have like accountability there, and accountability person.
So before then, that wasn't like that. They just hump.
No, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff was going on because of that. And so they were like, okay, well, we need to have somebody there.
Wow. And I want to ask you something about AI, because Tyler Perry came out. There is some technology that you can get on the computer. If you want snow, you can have snow. He had put a halt to the 800 million expansion for his studio. He said he's not going to do it. It's temporary halted because he said AI that you can, whatever set you want, you can put in a computer and people can tell the difference. Have you heard anything about that? Is that going to end jobs?
Well,
what is the future about that?
Well, you know what? I'm not surprised. I actually have a really good friend who does VFX. That stands for girl, yeah, visual effects. And yeah, I mean, they basically, it's what you do when you go home to Dallas. You have the green screen, and then you put in your whatever you want to do, your background, or if you want to have some fake snow or whatever. So yeah, they're just implementing that more now. I mean, it's basically CGI, but I guess it's just more advanced now with AI.
Wow. So now you don't have to build these sets. That's going to go
I
away.
mean, not really.
That's going to go away. And wow. He said, Tyler Perry said, he said a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. He could possibly lose their jobs because you won't need people to build those sets.
Only if okay, so Tyler is in control. So people will only lose their jobs if that's what he wants. So if he doesn't want to pay these people to build a set, and he just wants to use this AI because it's cheaper, then that's what it is.
And he's going to do it. If you know anything about Tyler Perry, he does below budget. He don't go over budget. Clearly, he tapes it 7 days. So he came in and said it's a lot of wasteful spending in Hollywood. Like, why y'all wasting all this spending? What are we doing here? If you watch his documentary, them jobs are gone. Because anybody in Tyler Perry studio, when you got word in that report that he put a halt to $800 million, I will be looking how to build AI, get it to. I would be looking for another line of work because that's
visual effects. Yeah, visual effects.
I would get into visual effects because just building a set stage. He said even makeup, he didn't have to be in a makeup chair for hours because of AI.
Right.
So that's hurt. Once that go, make a lot of makeup artists gonna be homeless. I mean, not homeless, but out of work.
Wiley.
I mean, I didn't mean to say homeless. I'm gonna get a lot of phone calls, but if I would have to just get AI and I don't have to have you dupe me up like an old woman, you just have to just touch me up. What's the need for you now?
You know what? So the first film that I remember them doing that on is a Netflix film. I think it's called The Irishman.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. So I do remember them using like this advanced AI technology a couple of years ago when they made that to make Robert De Niro and some of the other guys age like a bit faster in the film. So if you want to see like that type of technology, definitely check that film out.
Can you tell the difference? Like, oh, this was some AI stuff.
Yeah, you can. It's just really crazy because with AI, you can do stuff that you may not be able to accomplish with just makeup.
I'm talking about, but you can tell like, oh, this was good, or we just like, oh, this was a computer did that. Can the average person tell the difference?
Well, I don't like it because I work on film, so I like to see stuff up close. Like it's cool for me to see it up close. Like I love, watching the construction workers build the set, and then seeing the set completed, and then seeing the actors on set, and like what I'm saying. I like that. I don't really
average person that don't like that, just sit in the movies, but they know the difference.
Yeah,
they probably won't know that. See, that's why I said AI is coming very quickly. It was a report in 2020, back in 2019. He said a lot of jobs will be lost. He said 40% AI will replace 40% of the workforce. He said 40%. He said the only difference between the different advancement in technology is it happened. It happened. It was a long time period before it shifted and we adapt. But he said AI
and now everything's
so quickly
so fast
that it's happening very fast. The first restaurant in California have already had the first automatic restaurant. Making burgers, French fry. They have the first one now. Now I've got a buddy of mine that, and he's an investor. There are already conversations of McDonald's and Burger King. They're going to have theirs, and it's going to come out. It's already rumbling. This is before the public know this. So anybody that work at McDonald's and Burger King and all that, get ready. It's going to happen. They say it's going to happen so quickly. It's going to happen quickly, meaning it's a prediction that Congress is going to have to play catch up because a lot of people are going to be out of work. it's that's the next shift. We're in the generation where we're going to see people lose their job and they're going to run to they're going to be on the street. We're already suffering now, but it's going to be like you're losing. You know how you say I'm above water? You're going to lose that above water check. Like, you know how people say you want paycheck gonna be in the poorhouse, you lose that, you in the poorhouse. So because of those type of jobs, they're going to have it. It's going to all be like all the stores now. They're saying that you will be able to go to Walmart. It will be no staff. Like, you will go to your car. They have to bring it to you. You ain't gonna be able to steal it. You have to have your ID. Come bring it. It's all that technology that is going to happen very quickly. They're going to replace whatever humans going to do, get it very fast without unions, without all that. It's going to be all automatic, which is okay. We've seen little bits and pieces with self-checkout, but it's going to be so advanced of the self-checkout. That's going to be like old school. That's going to be like having a flip phone with this new technology. And I see it. I've seen it. We see it when I saw it in the news. And then a lady tasted the burger, and she was like, "Ooh, this burger tastes so good." And I'm kind of like a good AI burger. Maybe the fries gonna be stale and cold and stale.
I'm so weak.
Maybe the machines will work better than the humans effing it up.
Maybe the ice cream machines won't be broken.
Okay, maybe the ice cream machine will be broken. Now, the only bad part about it, the next form of war will be they got to have a security system on point, because that could all be hacked. So that's like the next.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to talk about that?
I ain't gonna talk about it here, because we get deep. I don't want to get over my ideas. But that's like the next.
Because I'm seeing all this stuff happening at one time, Wiley, and I'm like, so y'all don't think we at war right now? There's no war,
but that's the new. That will be like the new form. You know,
this is the new World War III. Like, it's not going to be like world, invading countries and stuff like that. No, we're way more advanced now.
Right. It's you see rumblings, and the only people that's lost to it, people that don't know history, people don't read, people that don't even watch the news. I've talked about subjects on this show, like, Wiley, I didn't even know. But thanks to the Wiley, do you know how dangerous that is?
That is dangerous.
That means you're not.
But that's what people say about Christians and how we need to read the Bible for ourselves. We can't. A lot of Christians just go to Bible study on Wednesday nights, go to church on Sunday mornings, and get their word from the pastor and whatever he says, and that's it.
Yeah, and
they're fine with that. And that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. So that's why it's important to be in tune, because let's not act like we go back to history. I always use NASA as an example. Back in the day, there were human computers, meaning that human calculators. They were calculated by hand.
We had to. We didn't have a choice.
We had a choice. But then the computers came, and it's this Black woman that worked in NASA. She saw the shift, and what did she do? She adapted. She said, somebody got to program this baby, and she learned how to be a computer programmer. So for us, it's only people that's going to get lost is the people that don't know how to change with the times and to get accustomed to the change. Like you have people out here that don't know how to work a computer. That's bad. Don't know how to work. It's bad, because every child,
especially if you have a smartphone. Like, if you have a smartphone, there's no reason why you shouldn't know how to turn on and work a computer.
Yeah, you have to know how to do it. Every child in America, every adult should have computers and iPad. Now, I used to say children have it. They have to have it. This is the society that we're in. You got to know how to work through it so they don't abuse that technology, but they have to use it. This is their generation. We're not in the payphone generation. So that is it used to be a necessity, but that's almost coming to being a need almost, because
you know what? That is actually facts, Wiley, because when I was 10 years old was when I remember my parents first bought a desktop computer for the house or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? They let me use it. I taught myself how to use the computer at 10, but I had to be going on there for a reason. So usually I was going to look up something for school, or you know what I'm saying? Something I wanted to know, or I was curious about, or wanted to learn about. And so I feel like that's something that's still how I use my phone, or I use my laptop. I don't really go on there to play around. I go for a reason. I'm going to read something or find something out, and then I'm done.
You're right. Like someone, Vanessa said, it's just like when cars were invented versus horses for travel. And look, we don't even take horses for travel anymore. If horses still around, it ain't gone anywhere, but it's not as prevalent as we see it. We use it for entertainment purposes. But eventually, there will be our great-great-grandchildren will be studying. Girl, can you believe that people are driving themselves? Can you believe people actually was driving themselves? What is a steering wheel? What is me hitting the brakes? Can you believe people was waiting through TSA? Baby, I have my own plane and it flies himself.
TSA is absolutely so useless. Like, so useless.
Like, you're going to see we are in that generation from 100 years from now. They're going to be studying, talking about us. Some of us going to be gone. Some of us going to be having dementia, arguing, cussing like Wendy Williams. Some of us going to be on the bedpan. Some of us going to be in the grave. Some of us, you know, if this world still existed, if the world keep going, technology going to keep being advanced. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then somebody, if this video ever will be here, they'll be like, well, back in 2024, they were on StreamYard. What is that? It's going to be like, it's going, because like when I look at old videos in the 60s, I'm like, oh, what's that? But now,
bro,
but it was so common when my grandmother's age was so common in her generation. But now we have AC, we have washing machines, we have dryers. Now it's robotic stuff. Remember the smart house? We thought when we talked about this before, we thought that was so
bro, the Disney Channel movie, that was so crazy. Like, I was like, bro, how do you have, like, you just have technology just like running your whole house? This is insane. Like, who would ever do this?
Right, and we thought that was weird. We're like, what?
We did think that was so weird. Like, there was a robot vacuum, and lo and behold, we have robot vacuums now.
AI, it turned against them because that's a fear of them.
And I'm just like, yo, how do we not think that that's not gonna happen?
That is the type of fear.
Look at what's happening now. I don't know if y'all know this, but Fulton County is still, like, these people still are hacked into their system.
Yeah, they did hack the, yes. They had hacked the system, yeah. And then it was another police department. Somebody hacked into a police department and they took some money out of the department budget. That's
what I said. Like, I hope y'all are like doing things that y'all should be doing while y'all are hacking these people's system. Like,
yeah, it's because again, a lot of times America, we get so embedded that we just, and a lot of us, we kind of behind. And I've read that America, compared to other countries, we're behind on security programming, like cybersecurity. We're kind of behind it.
100%. Because no other country is being hacked like this.
Yeah, like it's crazy and crazy. And then you see all them balloons that are coming. Like, how to, what's going on with those balloons?
Right, like, how y'all let these people, like, okay, they sent these balloons from China. How did you not? Like, are you serious? Like, what are y'all really doing? And then that's why I get so upset about, like, these people in, like, government positions and, like, these very, like, important positions that, the public depends on, these people to do their jobs. And, like, obviously they're not doing it. Like, what are y'all doing that y'all didn't see this balloon, like, approaching, the United States airspace?
It's really something. It's really, really, really something. So on that note, Tyler Perry movie is out, you guys.
It's trash. Tyler, I gave it a 0.5 on my Letterboxd. It was awful. I'm really disappointed. Like,
it's double, but Kelly Rowland did post on there is number one. Let me see the Tyler
Kelly, but it's not, the movie is number one on Netflix and it has 1 star on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
Is it 1 star on Rotten
Tomatoes? So it's 1 for 1, ma'am. It's number one on Netflix
Tyler Perry,
and it has 1 star.
Number 1 on Netflix. Thank you.
And it has 1 star. They keep leaving that out. It's number 1 on Netflix and it has
Tyler Perry credit.
Star.
Tyler Perry credit. He didn't even care about the critics. Because back in the day, they would send the movie to, like, the movie critics. He don't do that for his films. Like, give them first dibs. He don't do it.
That's also, but we were talking about stuff that's dangerous. That's also dangerous when you're making stuff and people are telling you, "Yo, this is very bad quality. What are you doing?" And you're just like, "Well, it's number one. It's trash."
Because Tyler Perry said he don't care what y'all have to say. He said, why? But let's play double advocate. Tyler Perry said, when I hire other writers, this is his words. He said the ratings start to take a dive. And he said that when you have a union writer, that you have to pay for the rewrite. I believe he said that. If you want them to go back, right, you got to pay for that. Then you got to pay for the original one, and then if you want to redo it, you got to pay for a new one. Everything you got to pay for it. So Tyler Perry felt like, well, damn, my people watch what I write. It was half done, half spoiled, whatever. It's number one. I've never dealt with a dip in ratings, but and let's be clear, when he did when he did the first show he did, I think he had writers on that show, The House of Pain. And you could tell the difference with some of the episodes of other writers. So I'm not saying I don't see a difference. Like I even compared Tyler Perry when I was watching was it Shonda Rhimes when she would have on Thursdays Scandal, Half and Half Nots, and Scandal and all that. You could just tell the difference between her and Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry came out, well, I don't get the same type of budget like these other shows. But baby, how's that possible?
But he has money for the budget. This is his stuff that he's funding.
I think he said those lies.
The budget, he can have the budget. He don't want the budget. He's not trying to
he want the massive profits. He want to walk away with massive profits because he became a billionaire very quickly in Hollywood, and you're not getting to the.
And that's I'm very happy for him, but I expect more of him. His work should be getting better, not worse.
I hope this other film that, and I get in his mind. So when Tyler Perry do them historical pieces, he does a damn good job. Then versus him trying to do these other side, and maybe that's his strategy. Like the shit that I really want Black folks to consume, the really mind-blowing, like this film about the Black battalion, the Black women. I hope that movie is good because you got Kerry Washington, you got some heavy hitters, and I'm looking forward to that film. I'm really looking forward to it because a Black woman in her 90s, I think this was like, don't correct, it was a World War I, World War II. She passed away, but she was able to see the raw footage of the film, and he showed it to her. And of course, she passed on. So hopefully that film is high budget. Hopefully, it's good. But this film, because that's not act like Tyler Perry film.
Horrible.
Like, Daddy's Little Girl was good, and that guy was from from London. He did a damn.
I mean, Daddy's Little Girl was good because Idris Elba is a strong actor.
Okay, yeah,
Wasn't Gabrielle Union in there?
Gabrielle Union was in there too, and Daniel's daughter was in there too. So yeah, you're right.
Solid actors, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can have a trash script,
but you gotta have that.
To have strong actors.
You gotta have that strong.
You can't have a trash script and trash act that's not gonna work out.
Wow. Okay. Some good criticism.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like me, you're going to go in there and, all right, I'm going to turn this shit kind of trash. You know what? Let me turn it around a little bit. I'm going to tweak these little words. And you know what? Directors really don't mind if you do that because they have so much other stuff on their mind. So they're like, oh, if you have an idea of how to make this film better, then you go right ahead.
Right. Because I didn't even know when Monique did Almost Christmas, that was all improv. I didn't know exactly. That. I thought that was all in the script. She said no. She said, I said, what? Do you know how good you have to be to do that?
Facts. It's really a gift and a talent. It honestly is, because there are a lot of people who are actors, like they're employed as actors, but you can tell that they're not artists. Like they very much depend on the director to direct them. But if you have the pleasure, if you have the pleasure of working behind the scenes as well, like I do, then you know the director is there to do one thing, and that is to direct the scene. When you are an actor, you're supposed to be coming to set already knowing your lines, knowing how to flip your lines, knowing how to tweak your lines, knowing what the scene is, knowing where you're already supposed to know that. Like nobody is, and like a lot of actors come to set like looking for somebody to babysit them, and it's like,
Yeah, because some
bro,
directors
like
love when you go against other actors. That competition, they thrive off that.
yeah.
Wow, wow, that's a good point. It's so good to get someone that worked behind the scenes and giving that insight. Thank you, Part of Me, for coming on, for giving your expertise in this when it comes out. Because when I read the article on Hollywood Reporter, I thought about you with Tyler Perry. And I said, let me get Part. Because when AI first came up in this whole, they went on a writer's strike and the actors went on strike, we talked about it on the show. And you said what you said. And yeah, so I'm so glad. I didn't even know you did all that. But that's why it's important to don't be emotional as a content creator, because people want to push talented folks away. If I was ignorant, I would have pushed you away because of the noise of the people. And now look at it now. You're still here, still dropping gems. So I thank you for that.
Thank you, Wiley.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at so Mea Culpa currently has a rating of 4.1 out of 10 on IMDb. It has a 17% out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean, he's talking about number one, but
I want to know. Can you tell me what was the ratings of A Family That Prays? What was that rating?
I know it was good. Let me look it up so I can be accurate.
Because I want to know what was that rating. I'm just curious.
Okay, so it had a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. And that's high for a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. But I accredit that to the strong actors.
Okay.
I mean, he had Kathy Bates, Alfre Woodard, Robin Givens, Taraji
Because I think
P.
Have and
Henson.
Have Nots would have been way better if Kathy Bates would have played the white mother.
Probably.
I think, because I just sis her for that role. They probably couldn't afford her for every episode. Because I'm like,
yeah, that's
Kathy Bates, baby, that's
I don't imagine she's cheap.
Because she's not cheap. She's white. She ain't taking no pay cut. She's been in the business too long.
And Kathy Bates has been in a number of notable films and TV shows. Like,
absolutely. I was just watching her on Fried Green Tomatoes. When I think about my grandmother,
a legend.
I watched that movie, Fried Green Tomatoes. The Secret's in the Sauce. I love the old movies. So you can tell I was raised by my grandma, but that is my movie. And did somebody Misery? Who hit somebody on their knees? Act of Misery, like she beat up her man. What was that movie?
No, she was obsessed with I think he was a writer in the film. She was obsessed with this man, and so he had a car accident by her house, and she basically kidnapped him or whatever. And like he could, he was in a car accident, so he was like injured, but then she like gave him some more injuries.
So what's the name of that movie? I never seen it though.
It's called Misery.
Okay, let me put it in my phone. Wait a minute, I heard about it.
Yeah,
I feel like Oprah Winfrey now. I heard about it.
Yeah. Bruh, Stephen King is out of control. Wow. He is my favorite author.
Let me
and
see.
Then his birthday.
You ain't got that on Netflix. Baby, how much Netflix is, baby? They should have every movie on Netflix. Misery.
It might be on Tubi. Too bad.
Oh, okay. I see it. They say they have it on oh, okay. Dag, $14.99 on YouTube?
On Vudu? Oh, it's $14 on YouTube too? That's too much.
To buy it? What happened to the render for $2.99?
Okay.
Oh,
I think it's available on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Apple Music, $7 a day.
Yeah, that movie is really crazy.
Can somebody send me a free movie app that I can watch? Watch free on Boomy.
I'm so weak.
Send it to me in my DM. Send it to me. Okay. But this was good. Like, this was a good weekend. I'm looking forward to Dallas. Looking forward to that. Tyler Perry, thank you for giving me some content to talk about today. Wendy Williams.
Okay, because I'm gonna be dogging this movie out.
I know you're gonna be dogging it out.
Jesus, this was really bad. I really need to sit down and talk to him like, Tyler, sir, this is unacceptable.
He ain't gonna listen to that because Tyler Perry said he ain't stunned what y'all talking about.
You know what? I'm prepared for Tyler because he's a Virgo and I'm a Virgo. Okay, so it's a alpha man versus an alpha woman.
Okay,
hello, Tyler. This is unacceptable. What are you doing? You got all this money.
Because they were dragging Tyler on Facebook. I mean, on Twitter or X, whatever it was.
About the movie?
I mean, I had to stop reading because it was so funny. One person said, I knew this movie was trash. They took a screenshot where it said written by Tyler Perry, produced by Tyler Perry, directed by Tyler Perry. They took a screenshot saying, this is what I knew this movie was going to be trash. Because you can tell All Queen's Man, the reason why that is so good is because he's not writing it.
Christian writes that, right?
You could tell, like, it's a great, but then Tyler, I heard that he tried to put his hands in that, but no, let them do. Whoever got that All Queen, they doing a dang on good job with that. Like,
that's Christian.
Yeah, that's Christian because everybody thought it was Tyler Perry, and he's like, no. He said, this is mine. And I'm glad Christian Keys got it together. Because I didn't even know Christian Keys was this amazing book writer. Like, he was a great author. He write books. I didn't
even know that was. I've never watched the show, so I didn't even know that he was in the show, let alone that it was his show.
I didn't know, so that's why I'm like, wow. And he said it respectfully because they was like, because when he did it on Atlanta, what was that? The Atlanta, what is that? It's a media outlet, Atlanta something. But it was like, yeah, being on Tyler Perry movie series. No, that's respectfully, that's not Tyler Perry. That's mine. It's Christian Keys. I'm like, okay. I think the Atlanta Black Star or Black Star, like, yeah, cause yeah.
Atlanta Black Star is the equivalent of Media Takeout.
Really? But they interviewed. Well, I don't know. Allegedly, I want to say to Atlanta Black Star legal team, we do not know if y'all like Media Takeout. Media Takeout, we're saying it with love, allegedly, but I do
respectfully. Media Takeout was the GOAT. Like when I was in college. It was the GOAT.
It was the GOAT. I think what happened with Media Takeout is they got sued a couple of times.
I guess so. They had all the tea on there.
Yeah, they got sued a couple of times, and they didn't evolve. And I think what messed up Media Takeout is not having a face of the brand like Jason and like evolved. They should have evolved in podcasts, Media Takeout podcasts. Like they got to evolve. That's one thing I love about Hollywood Unlocked is it evolved into the Jason Lee. It's like different branches of it instead of it just being a website. Like you do live. So even the Shade Room is catching up to Jason. Because remember, everybody was just posting, but he was going on camera. Now the Shade Room, even though Angie, she get this gay reporter to do like report. So you got to evolve. You're gonna get lost. You just can't depend on just being an IG blog. You got to have a TikTok presence. You got to have a podcast presence. You got to have all that. And I'm learning from these people. And shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. I tell him all the time, like, Kyle, when are you going to sit down with a microphone and talk? You are very adorable. You smell good. You look good. You probably taste good. You love to taste other people. No pun intended. Because you really was tasting my brother. Anyway.
When I saw those screenshots, I literally screamed. I was like, Kyle, no, Kyle.
But you gotta do that in Hollywood, though. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I mean, that's a lot of great
Let me
temptation.
tell y'all something. Wiley, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
That's true.
If somebody asks you to do something and you're desperate enough because you think they're going to advance your career or your life in some way, that's on you. You don't have to do anything you
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna
to
do
do.
it because I want to
I
do it.
haven't
Especially
done
if it's Trey
anything I didn't want
Songz
to
or Chris
do.
Brown putting
I
in my
have
face.
not had to sacrifice my morals or sell my soul, and I'm doing just fine.
Right. That's because I wanted. I'm a freak, and Kyle is in the community.
You are out of control. Do you realize that the Lord will never put you in a situation like that to succeed in this industry because He knows that
Well, no,
you would do
Lord,
good things?
I take that back, Lord. I don't want to do that at all.
You
I take it back. I will flee from it if it's in my face. I will say, get that thing out of my face. No, because and then sometimes too, people want that lifestyle so bad that maybe God don't want you to have that either. So sometimes, or you're not ready for that. Because I've seen some people that get it
because He knows that if He gives you this opportunity, you're not going to do what you were supposed to do, and it can lead you to go to hell.
Yes.
And He's not going to let
So sometimes,
you go to
because
hell.
sometimes people say, "Oh, I would have been so bad if I never got in this lifestyle, never
Exactly.
done this." Like even some of these child stars, like even Michael Jackson, even though he probably would still be an old black man, but probably not as rich or as famous. But some industry you go through, it's a lot. Some industry is a lot of temptation. It ain't all them temptation at Walmart or UPS. But the higher you go up, the more enablers you get. Look at Wendy Williams, baby. Look at the enablers she got, baby. They will feed you your habit. So it is what it is. Look at Wendy Williams, because do you really want that life? Nope. As I look at it now, do you really want that? Especially because you know what they say, when you rich, it only amplify what you truly are.
Yes.
So if you are a drunk, poor, and you get more, you're gonna drink more. You're gonna have more.
Period.
Oh, let me put Wendy Williams back on here. What did she say? She was in there. Let's order liquor. Let's get some champagne. Champagne, yes, champagne. Let's order liquor. Like, yes. Do you have white wine? And she didn't even understand what the man said. Oh, we don't have it. Wait. I'll take that. Thank you.
I am so weak.
Like,
no, that's fact.
And Wendy Williams had somebody in that building that was bringing her that liquor in there. That's why she had to move out of that building, because she's an enabler. She got money. And see, the man was like, I have to find, baby, you gonna keep finding bottles because you leaving her wads of cash, sir.
You have enablers.
Could you please give me about 3 bottles? And she got the
You have these people that have no morals. If you slide them a $20 bill, they'll do whatever you ask.
And she got a lot of $20 bills because she had like a wad of cash. And she was like, I need 2 champagne bottles. Yes, 3. Make it 3 vodkas. 4 vodkas.
Right.
So, and they're doing it. I mean, for a $500 tip, baby, you go get the vodka, the goose, Hennessy, whatever you want. For that, and that building, because I forgot like how she able to get it, because she got a lot of enablers that we saw on camera that we don't see on camera, and then those that's on camera, they put on the face like, oh, let me look in the closet, but you the one that's buying it.
You know it's not in the closet because you put it in the cabinet.
Yeah, you doing this as we really care. You could tell her team is sending her that liquor. They know she talk like that, but they keep the check going, they keep the money going.
Norman. Yeah. That's his name, Norman.
Yeah, he paid. Yeah, it's sad. Like, even her co-executive producer of the Wendy Williams show, what was that, Susie? What was that name? The one that was in the audience? She said Wendy is not coming back. She her mind. And then the fans, because I don't think the people know about dementia, about they don't know about these things. I know about it because I'm in healthcare. So I know ain't nowhere in the world she coming.
Yeah, you know, Wiley, a lot of people don't know about stuff and don't really care to research stuff if it's not around them or if it's not happening to them or somebody they know.
Because they keep saying dementia. She gonna be back. Oh,
what is that? What's dementia? Girl.
She coming back next.
Dementia is a debilitating disease and it cannot be reversed. it only gets worse.
Yep. I'm like, now wait a minute. Y'all know that Wendy Williams ain't coming back no time. So she probably never coming back because, first of all, it's a lot. This woman, I knew it was bad. I told people because they kept saying she faking because she don't want to pay Kevin Hudson. I said, no, baby. Ain't nobody about to fake.
I think Kevin, the whole thing with Kevin and Sharina and the baby, I think that took a toll on her mental health. And can't nobody tell me that that's not what happened. I know she had previous, Graves' disease or whatever. I know that. And, regular everyday stress, stressors in life or whatever. But you cannot tell me that that wiped out her mental capacities.
Right. And then
her life was over after
saying,
that.
well, she's just doing this to play broke. So she won't pay her husband. I said, no, ain't nobody about to get no guardianship.
Okay.
Do you know the threshold to get a guardian? I don't think people understand the legal threat. That is so challenging and expensive, but the gag is the bank. The bank blew the whistle. And
New York if you go to the bank Court, and you're like, this person is not in their right mind, the bank will freeze the account immediately and conduct an investigation.
And proceed to the court. Do you know the legal threshold? That means it was evidence, and I'm glad it was sealed because it was probably painful to protect. Because I think if we knew how much he was spending, somebody was doing a lot of reckless spending.
Her son?
And her son was again, I have to blame him.
Her son or Kevin?
Her son, because he was the power of attorney and the healthcare proxy. Because the cousin spilled the tea, saying he spent $120,000 on a birthday party and $100,000 in Uber Eats. What the hell are y'all ordering for Uber Eats? Baby, golden nuggets, golden pies.
That man was eating lobster every night, lobster, Wagyu beef burgers.
Baby, you order that's reckless because I see it on your account. Like, whoa! Like if you keep ordering
$100,000,
you regular broke. If you regular work, your card gonna freeze and your bank gonna say, "Hey, do you recognize this charge?" Because it's triggering the bank. Like, oh, this seems kind of.
That's when you know you got a lot of money. You spend over $200,000 in suspicious activities and your bank don't even reach out to you.
Most of us ain't gonna never get that because baby, you ain't got enough to even do that. It's gonna be insufficient for insufficient. So, but that's a different type of money thing that went in there, and it's a Wells Fargo's credit. I give them that. They have every right to do that because that was reckless if these allegations is true. And I'm glad that it's sealed because it's to protect the son. And anybody else, like this will make him look bad. Baby, you was in charge of the bank account. And he was like, my mom, I got permission from my mother. You knew your mother was incompetent. So obviously you ain't right because you don't know the difference between somebody got dementia. You didn't know. And obviously I can't
believe he didn't care.
He didn't care. And then always he's young. So everybody don't know about dementia because everybody was like, what is wrong with Wendy? What is so wrong? No one knew. But a person that work in healthcare that got some good common sense, oh, baby, she's a little, she's in the store, but ain't nobody shopping.
But you knew something was wrong when she fell out on stage. Remember that?
Remember that.
Like, that was crazy.
And then they forced this woman to go out. This is why people don't care. They forced her to go out. From that moment, Wendy should have went to the sober house. Wendy should have got help there, and maybe she would have been at a different place than she is today. But because she said, I like to drink and whatever, I like to drink, and that's my business. I like to drink. I'm not an alcoholic.
And I can't do alcoholic.
But she do it, and now this is the end result of it. But we got the one and only proud of me for coming on.
Yeah.
Coming out of the Butcher store today, talking about the great Wendy Williams. I'm gonna be watching part 2 today or tonight.
Are you gonna be here for Atlanta Film Festival this year?
That's in September, October, right?
Huh?
The Atlanta Film Fest is next week?
No, it's in April.
Oh, April. Okay. Well, let me know because I'm gonna be in Vegas the last week in April. Let me know the time.
Yeah. So it starts that week, I think on the 25th. It's from April 25th through May 5th, I believe.
Okay. So tell me the good time to go through, like, all the heavy hitters, because I don't want to go through.
You can literally come after Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, because
but you should be getting like your emails.
I hit you up because I'm gonna tell you about something off air, but yeah, I hit you up about that.
Okay, yeah, you should be getting your emails and stuff for the festival.
Okay.
And then when they ask you when they send you the email about your media badge, like make sure you tell them you will be here, like you're local, you're in Atlanta.
Because the last time I didn't put that over because they go
right.
Yes. Thank you so very much, Prodigy, for calling in.
Thank you, Wiley. Good night.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Anybody want to contribute to the show? $ Marquise Wiley 28 WileyShow@gmail.com. If you want me to go to Atlanta Film Festival, really go out in these streets, we need your contributions. Little black boy, you beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first. Oh, this was good. I felt good. And I did have to cry, child. Oh, I know y'all gonna drag me in the comments, but I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.